Dexy, I know you're gonna kill this shit.
Big up, people. What you telling me? It's been a minute. The Lude is back in the building. Fam, what's good?
Damn, man. It's been a minute, man. So it made sense with the international break, man. Love for the love in the chat word to Turkish as well. Love for having me back, bro. Damn, man.
Come on, bro. It's been a minute, bro. A lot's happened and not happened at the same time. Arsenal almost won the league twice. You know what I mean?
I don't pay attention to the narratives, bro. I just live game to game, my guy, man.
Bro, now your manager's taking you on a one-way ticket to the Europa League, blood.
Inshallah, that's not the case, man.
It's unbelievable, Arteta, bro. Arteta's coming out saying he needs another DM and that, bro, after he spent 100 mil on Rice, bro. It's crazy, bro. What's going on at your club, man? What's going on?
Boy, we ain't 1-4. It's all doom and gloom. It comes with the territory. You just have to get back on the horse, man.
Nah, bro, it's looking mad. Looking like the horse is Merino, blood. I swear down, man. Spent how much money you spent on that guy, bro?
Shout out Rice, man.
Crazy. It's all looking crazy right now. The Rice ain't ricing, bro. Do you know what I mean? Man said you got Rice at home, but you don't want it, bro.
Bro, at some point you're only as good as the tools you've got. But if you go to Halfords and buy all the luxury tools and the tradesman don't know what he's doing, then boy, there's question marks, man. You take someone who, whether people like Rice or not, and I understand he has to do other factors playing for Arsenal and whatnot. But if you take someone that's recognized as one of the best in this position, you're making him an 8, then you know it don't make sense, does it, Rants? It don't. And I haven't been on your channel in a minute, but how many times was I here and I said the midfield, and we still got midfield issues. Odegaard's absence just highlights the problems. You know yourself, football's won and lost in the middle, in the final third, sorry, in the defensive third, but it's played in the middle. So yeah, man, he's gonna have to go.
How do you spend all that money on midfield and still have midfield issues, bro?
Bro, this is where Mikel Arteta has to hold it, innit? You've got Rice, you've not had a consistent partner. I've been very consistent with saying it's easier said than done, but I think we need that Santi Cazorla, that Cesc Fabregas, that consistent line breaker. Partey's probably been our best midfielder this season. You can see he's declining physically off the ball. Obviously, he's out of contract. Jorginho, you wish he was a bit younger. You spent too much money in it, really. And until you are able to solve that, we're going to have these issues, man. Like, I like Moreno. I think Moreno's a floor raiser, not necessarily a ceiling raiser. And ultimately, again, you're putting players that are not cut up to task to try and get over the line. This season, like last season,
give you that Jorginho don't give you other than hype.
He don't give us anything. That's why I said he's a level raiser. You're cool for the squad. You do your thing. But Mikel Arteta is trying to make you the guy. And then you've seen it yourself. You know, you've got these Arsenal fans that come out. And I'm not even getting at Moreno. They say he's the best thing since sliced bread. He's this, that, however. He's going to replace Granit Xhaka. Those same people are writing him off already. But you look at our summer, bro. It don't make sense, bro. Our summer weren't a summer where you looked at and thought, raw, like, you're going to have a real go at things with Man City. It's naiveties that we're on, man. It's jarring, bro.
But the manager's not moving like someone that believed that you lot were in with a shout of winning anything this year, bro. Because considering you finished second 2 years in a row, a summer of Moreno, Raheem Sterling, bro, and Calafiori is crazy. Like that summer there, like you see off the back of the summer Man United have had, where we've had a solid window, and then when man look at the Arsenal window, man that are supposed to be like literally one step away from challenging for a title or winning the title, and you have a window like that, it's crazy.
And what does that tell? What does that tell you, Rants? You know, Mikel Arteta, I do think you've done a lot of good things. I do think your heart's in the right place, but you're going about things the wrong way, and you have to look at collective the club. I think Calafiori is a good addition. I don't think Moreno's bad for the squad. Sterling, that just tells me, you know, and Arsenal fans like to do this thing where, you know, the PR will come out in all those papers and say, we tried for Nico Williams, we tried this, we tried that, so we had to get Sterling. I hear that. But if you try to be good on YouTube and your shit Rants, you don't have the platform you have. It's a results-driven business, I like. Yeah, so this is the issues that you look at that summer, and for me, I don't think the signings are bad, bar Sterling, but they're not level raisers per se. And you look at our squad, did we improve the depth? We did defensively. That's fully being tested. We didn't do what we needed to do. You didn't get a striker. You didn't get a winger. I would have cut the club a bit of, well, you got Sterling. I would have cut the club a bit of courtesy if they got either or. You know, I'm not going to say I know more than them, but it's well known where Arsenal can improve year in, year out. And it's complacency. And it makes you wonder, if I move away from Arteta, you know, the Cronkies and everyone, do you really want to win a league title? Or has the foot come off the gas because you've got a couple of years in the champs now?
They don't want to win no league title.
You'd like to win. You don't want to win it. 100%.
They don't want to win it. You know what it is, Like the difference between Arsenal and Liverpool, was that Liverpool weren't trying to win the league, but they brought in an elite manager in Jurgen Klopp. You ain't trying to, and then they ended up winning it, bro, because they didn't arm him with all the tools to win the league, bro. They underspent. They didn't really back him the way they should have backed him, but his brilliance delivered something that maybe it wasn't a priority for the owners. But Arteta has been backed more than him, but he's just not good, bro. Like, I'll be real. It's one of them ones where Arteta looks very much like he's having an identity crisis, because at the beginning he came into Arsenal, he wanted to do the pretty football, and then in his head,
he's gone the other way now too much. And we're not good defensively.
Like, the pretty football don't work, so I'm gonna try and do something else. And it's almost like he's gone from one style to the complete opposite. It's not even like he's done a hybrid.
Found balance, man.
Yeah, he's literally gone from here to here, and in that time he spent fucking £800 million. And there's like you said,
there's too much complacency, Rants, man.
How can you spend 800 million and not fix the squad? How have you got no bench? after spending 800 million, bruv. It's like he's bringing in man to replace man that he's already signed, and then getting rid of Reese and getting rid of Smith Rowe and them man there. And now your fan base is screaming for you to play the young Ethan now.
This is Rants. This is where he's showing his inexperience. This is where I get annoyed with Mikel Arteta, because I do think he's got a lot about him. The conversation now is about getting over the line and winning, which, yeah, you've been part of City, but you as your old man, as your old manager, you've struggled really. And he's been allowed to kind of do this. This is where I feel if Mikel Arteta is to stay here, he needs his very own David Dean to pull him back from the madness, because if you've got a new deal, if you're kind of like a spoiled child, as you said, you spend money, you've brought in a lot of defenders. You know, you look at, Raya. Now, Raya's clearly an upgrade on Ramsdale, but at the time, there was no reason to upgrade on Ramsdale or potentially bring in another left back in Calafiori. When you read these reports, it says the board didn't unanimously agree this. Mikel Arteta pressed for this. So you're kind of getting your own ways. And I'll be honest, in terms of the coaching and getting us back and the rebuild and all of that, one love. In terms of getting over the line, you're showing your naiveties. And it's these small things that are making the massive difference. You know, you look at City, they've kind of fallen off at this moment in time. Fair enough, we're only 11 games in. If Liverpool go and win that league, yes, no two situations the same. But it's all the arguments around Mikel Arteta are completely redundant. And to go to that comment about we needed to replace Ramsdale, I'm not saying we didn't. At the time, he was PFA, he was part of the English core. You was looking at many other areas before you was talking about upgrading on Ramsdale.
No one was looking at Ramsdale.
This is what I'm saying.
He's the reason why Arsenal ain't winning the league.
This is what I'm saying.
We're not going to do that.
And I'm not criticizing Brian. My point is Arteta is getting what he wants, and you can't have it both ways. You can't say he's one of the best managers in the world. He's innovative. He's this, he's that, and not hold him to high standards. Obviously, he's not Pep Guardiola, but they've lost their last 4 games or been shaky. You think City fans aren't asking questions? And I just feel with Arsenal fans, there's no balance. You just slag off the team, or you do what I hate more, if I'm honest with you, that positive, toxic stuff, pretending that everything is amazing. And I don't know if you saw it at your club with Ten Hag and things, but people conflate supporting with just blindly accepting and following someone.
Bro,
and as you know, it's dangerous.
But that's been, you always get like, that's all, like the top reds, in it. You get these guys
jarring, bro.
It's just a religion to these, man. And you know what it is? Like, when I look at the things that Arteta's done, for me, I'm a logic guy, innit? When I look at the signing of Calafiori, yeah, it don't make sense to me, given the fact that they're bro, before the international tournament, no one. I
can't lie, I wanted him, so I'm cool with it.
No one was talking about Calafiori. I think he's a good player going forward. Defensively, he's the only Italian I know that can't defend. Yeah,
the less we see of Zinni, bro,
I hear it, but my thing is, yeah, you got Jurriën Timber, yeah, that you brought and got injured, yeah. Ben White come off the back of probably his best season for Arsenal, yeah. And what, you're gonna bin Ben White off his
and
best?
Now we can't bin him because he's out now to probably to the end of the year. Well, at best, early 2025.
But this is what I'm trying to say. But when it comes to team morale, yeah, the same way he binned off Ramsdale, he tried to do it to Ben White, and it's like, bro, that's just not even good for the dressing room, because it's like
I don't think he tried Ben off Benjamin, but I hear it.
Nah, he did, bro, because he tried to do the Timber thing at right back and Calafiori at left back. Ben White was dusted, bro. It's only because of injuries he kind of caught life. He wasn't playing.
Nah, man, I disagree, man. He's been a main player, man. He's held on to his spot, because we were saying that last year with Timber.
Brother, if Timber's fit and Calafiori's fit, Ben White ain't playing.
I don't know. I don't think it's as clear cut as you're making up.
Who's on the bench? What, Timber?
It depends on the game state, bro. Because Timber's been playing left back more time. I do want to see Timber against Saka, but I've had this conversation with Arsenal fans, and I feel with Arsenal fans I don't know about United, but we get this new toy syndrome. I hear you, you're not wrong, but we cried about depth, we cried about different options. Now we've got one, and everyone was saying Benjamin White's not going to play. Where you look at Timber, he can't really stay fit. Calafiori seems to be a hazard to himself. They've got different qualities, man.
Yeah, but even though you're saying he couldn't stay fit, you bought Timber to play, bruv. And also,
where all these players to play, lad?
Bruv, you bought him to play, yeah? You didn't buy him for the bench. Same with Calafiori, bro. You bought Timber, he got injured, you never saw him. So he was like a new signing. You didn't need to buy him. You didn't need to pay, exactly. So you didn't need Calafiori. This is my point, because my thing is...
Nah, I hear you on that, but I disagree. I wanted Calafiori.
You bought him to invert from left back.
Yeah.
That's why you brought Jurriën Timber. So go in and buy in another left back when you need a striker, yeah, and you need a midfielder. When
that's where I start to agree with you, because you either cover all these areas or do none.
because Ben White's just had a right back season where a lot of people were putting him into team of the season.
And also, we've had to play Ben White into the ground, so we needed another option, man. For the last 3 years, we've seen these interviews
your
about Ben White.
option didn't need to be a first choice left back that was coming in, to bench Ben White, bruv. Because Ben White was getting benched because Jurian Timber was playing if he's fit.
I hear you, but being devil's advocate is Calafiori necessarily first choice. Being devil's advocate is Calafiori necessarily first choice.
If he's, how much did you spend on Calafiori? 40 odd million.
Can't lie, I don't know, bro.
You spent 40 odd million for him to be a bench man. No, you didn't sign
it's a weird one because I somewhat agree with you, and then I think where I disagree is obviously I think we need more depth and all the game state and all of that jazz. But it depends on who we play, because I do agree with you in that I want to see Timber with Saka, natural right footer on that side. Obviously, Calafiori the same on the left. But I'll be real, there's some games I want to see Timber and Benjamin White if we have to defend for our lives, for example. But you are right in the sense of this is what I mean about there's no pressure. I'm not criticizing signing the left back, whether you want to do that, because I didn't think we needed to upgrade on Raya. You did that, it worked to a degree. The manager's paid to see improvements where there's none, right? But you're not patterning all of the budget, as you keep saying, and I agree, because I keep saying I agree. The striker thing, I want to pick my words wisely, and I'm not dissing Kai Havertz, because I actually have no problems with Kai Havertz. My issues with Kai Havertz is we're trying to make you do something that you're not built for, as we did with Giroud. Giroud was a good player. We try and make you first choice. You're in issues. You need to address all of these areas. As I said at the start, either you sign a striker or a winger or both. We didn't do that. I'm sure you've seen it. Arsenal fans were very quick to say we got 90 odd goals last season. We scored from set pieces. The set pieces have dried out at the moment. But when you break it down, Saka is getting the goal. Saka's the only one you're going to bet on in August that is going to get those goals. Trossard, it's been volatile. Kai Havertz did it in the second half of the season.
Everyone else, they're not guaranteed.
So how are you going to win games, Rants? How do you win games?
Not, bro, but you know what it is, yeah?
And then you got a man who don't want the striker to be a striker, which I'm not knocking, but you're actually poking holes in what you're trying to do. And
but the thing is, because the worst thing for Arteta is that your players overperformed, so it made Arteta look like he knew what he was doing. Because if you deep it, Erdegaard had one season where he scored goals, and now all of a sudden people think he's going to score goals for you. He ain't a goal scorer.
He's good for 9. Maybe 10, but he's not like you said, you can't live or die by goals. And as I was saying, I want to
in all comps, like
not in the jarring thing, bro. And I don't want to pick. I want to pick my words wisely, and I'm not dissing Havertz. As I said, my comment, whether I rate Havertz or not, I actually think right now you're one of the first names on the team sheet, and you're doing what you can in it. Like I can't dish you anymore. The problem is you're putting boots you can't fill. I think last season, specifically the second half of last season, where Havertz was scoring goals for fun, naturally there was some complacency there. I don't want anyone to be in poor form, but had he not have scored them goals or we saw him up front, you might have pressed the issue a bit on the striker. I genuinely think the club sat there and said, well, we'll try for Isco, we'll try for that, we'll do this. Kai Havertz's form, whether Kai Havertz's pants or not, that's great, but I can't sit here. I'll be a liar if I'm going to sit here on Rants' stream and sit here. And sit here and just attack Kai Havertz. I don't believe he's the guy to get us over the line, but you're one of the more reliable players on the field. We all know Mikel Arteta asks you to do this complicated striker thing, which you're doing. And I think the bigger conversation needs to be a bit like what Rant said at the start, which ties into midfield. Bro, we don't create chances. I always tell Arsenal fans, don't get into this trap. Until we create chances, man can't talk to me about striker, because you're going to get this, God willing, you lot probably get Gyökeres, but the Gyökeres is the Isaacs. If the striker's not in the box, how do you score, Rants? Ball, how the hell do you score? It don't make sense. A striker is a selfless job. If anything, the one position that benefits better yet in an Arteta team is the wingers, and it's really just the right-hand side, because Martinelli has to hold that whip. Saka don't have a free role, but he's got somewhat freedom. We've known what we've needed to do. You need a central midfielder. You need a striker. You need a winger. The depth is a problem. There's several players who pick up injuries. It's about, the rebuild. All of that's been great. It's about getting over the line. How many times are you going to do the same thing, Rants, and be surprised? We and you are going to have the same conversation week in, week out. But this is why, for me, the eye test always reigns supreme in it, because the facts are, Arsenal scored loads of goals last season. But bro, these men don't create chances, bro. Like they don't, innit? Like it's a fallacy. So what when did you see against
Arsenal
Chelsea?
Exactly. When you see Arsenal score all these goals, man will turn around and say, Rants, well, if we don't create chances, how come we scored XYZ goals? Bro, football doesn't work like that. Do you know what I mean?
You can't run away from what your eyes are telling you forever. The two might underlap, but eventually they have to correlate, bro. It's a 38-game calendar.
Don't look dangerous at all. Like, in any way, shape, or form. Like the set pieces is the only way you think that they might do something.
And I'm so happy you mentioned that, Rants, because set pieces.
You don't look dangerous.
Exactly. I'm happy you mentioned set pieces because naturally, cool. In an ideal world, we defend great. Like that someone said with the Stoke City thing, we're attacking what an Arsenal team's supposed to do. We're creating chances, and you've got the set piece ingredient. But the issue is, as you've been saying, when you're not creating chances, naturally, last season set pieces was our bread and butter. Logically, if I'm Mikel Arteta, if I manage Arsenal and Rants manages Man United, and we're playing each other, and he knows we're lit at set pieces, are you not going to focus midweek on being a bit smarter there and ultimately making it more difficult for us to score? You don't know how you're scoring. The clean sheets have gone away. I'm not one of them that's going to do the doom and gloom thing and just give up. I'm not saying we're going to win the league, but like there's 4 games left. If anybody at this football club wants to give up, please leave. But it's like I've said on your platform many a times, man. Like, we create our own problems. Like, we're actually creating our own problems, and this is why me and you are having these conversations. It's jarring. Even when we was putting
problem with Arteta, like all the problems Arsenal are facing were created by him.
It is all of him. It is all of him. At the end of the day, everything. I'm not going to sit here and say the club in general, everything is on you, Arteta, but everything on the football field is a direct consequence of what you have or have not been doing. I don't want to hear nothing about injuries. I don't want to hear nothing. Obviously, they play a part, but everybody gets injured. I don't want to hear nothing about Odegaard not being there, because as great as I think Odegaard is, his absence merely highlights the issue of creativity. I know City talk about Kevin De Bruyne not being there. Obviously, it's Kevin, he creates. But if one man is how you live or die creative wise, you're in trouble. It's going back to, what was it, 2022, 23, when we had the first title challenge, when we used to say Zinni's not there, we can't create. And I used to get pelters for saying, bro, if your left back isn't there and you're talking about not creating, I hear all this inverted stuff, but anyone that knows football, does that make sense? Football's a simple game complicated by idiots, man.
Yeah, 100%. But it also shows you that the system isn't efficient, because the system's supposed to create chances, bro. Like, your system doesn't create chances. Like, you're relying on Erdegaard, and even Erdegaard, bro. Erdegaard's not really an 8, he's a 10. Do you know what I mean? He's not the guy that's going to get the assist. He might be the guy that
do the pressing thing as well. So
he might be the guy that plays the pass, that maybe breaks the lines before the assist. Do you know what I'm saying? And people are trying to turn him into a Mesut Ozil or something. He's not that, innit? So it's one of them ones where man say, oh, we're not creative, we ain't got Erdegaard, but it's like, bro, look at his assist stats, bro. They ain't really saying nothing. Do you know what I mean? So it's all mythical, bro. I'll be honest.
Plays a part, but it's like it's overcompensating. Like, it's over again. A lot of injuries, players missing, all of these things, they are facets. But you're lying to yourself and acting like this is a new phenomenon. Like, you go back to last season, give or take around this time, we were talking about needing a striker and all that, but we had a chance creation problem last year before the end of the year. And probably the fact that, what was it, the turn of the year, we was running up and down the country, scoring bare goals, clearing out fans. People said we don't need goals. The problem is people like their own narratives, bro. People don't like to look at everything.
The weaker teams.
This is what I'm saying. Like, people were telling me, I don't want to throw shades at him, but people were telling me how great Kivior is, and I'm not dissing him. He's definitely not the issue. But my point is, you can praise a defender when nobody's asking any questions. As you said, we're thumping up teams. No one's asking questions. It's jarring, and we've created our own mess. We have created our own mess.
Kivior, that's someone that Arteta's bought in the last 2 years, I swear.
This is what I'm saying, where you can see you're not levels. Like, do you know what I will say to the Cronkies? I'm not backing them because everything comes from them, but I can't say they're wrong in that. When you look at them, whether I rate it or not, Rants, they put the people in place, they leave you to your own devices. Where I look at Edu and Mikel Arteta, you've made a lot of good signings, there's also been a lot of duds. Have you got every bit of value for money? I wouldn't begrudge the Cronkies if they sat there and said, while I don't agree with it to a degree, you lot need to get better at sales. You lot need to go and do something. You've had peas and you're not getting nothing out of it. And you look at our summer, the short of it is, did we have a stronger squad? We could say stronger in terms of the strikers and whatever, but in terms of bodies, it's the same old stories. You're still running Saka into the ground. We had an easier time last season with injuries. Now, you're seeing what's going on. You've got the Odegaard, you've got the Sakas, you've got the Rices, etc., etc. And it's just merely highlighting a lack of planning. It's jarring, man.
Yeah, but it's jarring. Just looking off the back of last season, I said it. Like, there's no way you're going to have a clear run of injuries like you did last season. It was an anomaly season.
Naive if anyone disagreed with you, Rants, on that.
Bro, it was an anomaly season. And
Arteta even said that to age your point.
Bruv, the window that you had shows it's almost like you can't feel sorry for Arteta. Like, you can't. And when you look at all the players you're mentioning, these are men he brought in. He can't say this ain't his squad, because He's brought in players and sold players that he's brought in, bro.
This is your
And you
squad. Even
still
the
got
ones you
no
didn't bust, the Martinellis and Sakas, you there. Everybody's here
squad.
because you want them here. All
And
of
you
that's
still
redundant.
got no bench. There's still no understudy for Saka. If Saka's injured, you're talking about Jesus on the right. Do you know what I'm
I
saying?
want to
You
see
brought in
Ethan there if
Jesus,
he's not going to play in the 10, man.
bro.
But
You brought Jesus as a 9. He weren't good enough. You brought in Havertz as a midfielder to replace Xhaka. He weren't good
failed
enough.
upwards with that.
Yeah. So then you decided to play him up front, and you kind of stumbled upon something because he got 14 league goals or something like that. Then you brought in Declan Rice to play with Thomas Partey or replace Partey because you were trying to sell Partey, and then Partey ended up staying. Do you know what I'm
They tried to
saying?
shot him the last 2 years, man. I don't know now with his form. You know how it is with a player playing out their skin relatively in the last year of their deal. But that's the thing. If your best midfielder is a 30-year-old Partey, if I'm talking about Jorginho and he's on the peripheral, if you ran Declan Rice into the ground, if Odegaard's, going to need time to get back up to speed and you don't have the players to step up, you're in issues. Like we always talk about Ethan, me, myself, I want to see Ethan play. And then I had to stop myself and think, it can't be in terms of creativity why Ethan's not there. We all know he's young, he's inexperienced, he's volatile, all of that jazz. But if it was just in terms of creativity, it's one out, one in. Then I had to look at what does Mikel Arteta, in my eyes, want from his midfielders. It's a defend first thing, it's a pressing first thing, it's a dual monsters thing, as you've seen at the moment. That's why Ethan's not playing. This is why I just said boss him off the right wing. Wenger used to run that with the Wilsheres, with the Santis, with the Ramsdales.
100%. That's the same thing about Kobe Mino. Dashman on the left wing, bro, for him to stretch.
You learn as well as a young G.
Because you just need the minutes and there's less pressure there, so you can put your foot on the ball and make mistakes without being punished.
And you can do Bandulu midfield. Like, just because you're out wide don't mean you're not playing in midfield. You can do Bandulu things.
Yeah, 100%. So it's one of them ones where when you look at all the problems Arsenal are having, they've been manufactured by your manager. Zinchenko
self-inflicted from all of them, bro.
Back and invert. Yeah, we know that Zinchenko's a midfielder. He ain't used Zinchenko in midfield. Even with the injuries, you don't trust him in midfield. You don't trust him at left back. Like, the whole thing's mad. It's like my man's brought in players to paper over the cracks that he's created. So he's replacing man that he's bought with man that he's bought, while also weakening the squad.
But this is what I said, Rants.
You let Emil fuck off, yeah. And those are two men that could have helped the squad, bro. Meanwhile, you still got no backup for Saka. If Martinelli's not playing, and Martinelli's awful anyway, blood.
Nah, allow him. Big Martinelli, allow him. Nelly FC, we're here.
Bruv, you see that Zumba instructor, blood. That's you, man.
Allow him. We'll take the slander, man. But Martinelli's my guy. He might not be good, but that's my guy, man.
Like, bro, listen. Like,
Brazil 2026, whether he's there or not, we're winning that.
Man's getting shown up by Garnacho, blood.
Like, big listen. I like I actually like Garnacho, but big up Martinelli. I can't lie. The best slander names that Martin Kelly stuff. It gets me. He might be dead food, but he's my dead food brother. It's that simple. Like, there's always shit, man, that we don't rate. I'm with Martinelli to the end, man. Jesus, I don't know, man.
Gabriel Jesus is better than Martinelli, though.
Nah. Not what I'm seeing on the football pitch now, man. I'd rather rock with Martinelli. I want that all gear, no idea from Martinelli, man. Jesus, it's smelly, man. It's smelly.
And the goatee thing needs to allow it, bro. Like him, Gabriel Jesus with the fake cane roll, blood. He's better than.
When I saw that, I was like, "You're not getting out the hood, bro. You haven't earned the right to have hairstyles yet. You need to go back to basics, man."
Bro, he's having an identity crisis. He's a striker that don't score goals, innit? So man was just like, I don't know if I want long hair or short hair this week.
It reminds me of Phil Walcott. Jesus, just accept that you're a winger, bro. You will get time to play up front on a Bandulu thing. You're a winger, bro. You're a workhorse, man. You will do some wavy dribbles. Even like, Rants, I don't know what to say to you, man. Like, we've engineered
this. Jesus can dribble. Martinelli just running the ball out for
No. Nelly 1v1 demon. I'm here to push agendas. Big up Martinelli, man.
Nah, Nelly's not the one, bro.
I'm with him, man. I remember when we was in the proper trenches. I can't snake my guys, man.
No, bro, he's awful, though.
Nah, he's not allowing, man. Savage.
Nah, he's not doing it, brother. I'll be real. He's not doing it at all. Like, everything about Martinelli is like, he had one mad season, you know. When you actually look at the underlying data, he's had one good season.
I can't lie to you. Martinelli, the decision making, I don't think we're gonna get out the hood with it, bro. Like, you're too old now for some of the things we're talking about, man. For me, with Martinelli's decision making, and I hear a lot of Arsenal fans where they say you need a centre mid, left back, all of that stuff makes sense. But for Martinelli, I think we've got to the point, bro. anything that you're not doing is on you, because you're still getting into goal scoring areas. We've just been talking about and had a segment on the lack of chance creation. If we go and look at half our highlights, it falls to Martinelli. I know he bagged against Chelsea, but he also missed one. It's the decision making, man. And these are the questions that you need answers to, specifically in terms of if you want to win a league. If man want to keep doing this top 4 thing, then Arsenal are ticking over, really and truly. If you want to get over the line, then you need more answers than questions. We all know the problems. I want solutions, man. Like, bro, it's jarring, man. All I just bring me an FA Cup. Just try salvage the season, and we're here in it. I don't look at the league table. I don't know where we are
right now. Man said FA Cup, but any cup that's available,
any cup, but I can't lie. At least FA Cup, I can be shameless a bit with it.
And that, bro, man.
The League Cup, the rollies ticking. I'll be shameless if we win that. I'm here for it. But boy,
bro. Shout out Yard, man. You man got the interruption FA Cup, blood, during COVID, and that's the only thing that you man got, blood, to show for all of this for 800 million.
Don't forget English Super Cup as well, you know. 2 trophies, right? It is what it is. English Super Cup.
800 million, and man only got like a COVID thing to show for it.
But this is what Rants. This is why I'm saying, like, if Mikel Arteta is to stay, yeah, whether I believe he's the guy or not, if he is to stay, because reality is he signed a new deal, yeah. This is why I think he needs a David Dean. You're the only, when Edu was there, let's be honest, yeah, sporting director, manager on paper, Edu's voice should be a lot louder. But me and you both know, a lot of people in the chat know, anyone that gets football, Arteta's voice is going to get what he wants in it. So you've got my man getting whatever he wants. Now you've got no footballing men with Edu leaving. Now I know there'll be a director. This is why I think you need a David Dean, because he used to stop Wenger from moving a bit too crazy. Arteta's just been allowed to just move mad. I think the Cronkies are looking at Arteta and saying, you know what? We were having protests. The fans weren't believing in Jazz. We've got to a point now. One love for that. We're getting top 4. You do your thing. And then you've got someone that's learning on the job now. I like Arteta, but I like my football club a lot more.
Edu leaving, though.
This is, huh?
Do you think that's got anything to do with Edu leaving? Do you not think that upstairs?
Yeah.
They've looked at collectively what Edu and Arteta have spent and where the club's going.
100%.
And fingers are getting pointed, bro.
If you're Edu, bro.
Weird.
Bro, if you're Edu, yeah, and you sit there, I think it's 2 things. Obviously, you know, we all want to aspire to better things in life. If you get to run that multi-club structure, get more P's, do what you want to do, fair enough. Naturally, you know, and this is why I say Edu has to hold a lot of smoke, because they say it's a collaborative thing and whatever, yeah. But generally, if I put myself in Edu's shoes, for as much as I criticize him and think he has to share blame, what if being devil's advocate, you know, Mikel Arteta said, I want Kai Havertz. Edu has found this other striker, maybe the same kind of price that could get us over the line. Edu's not being taken up on that. Edu's job is simply just Arteta's one, go and get the signing done. I can't really get him, because we all know Mikel Arteta's influence is getting there. And what annoys me about this Arteta thing is I like the manager, you know, but he's learning on the job, and it can't be in vain. I like my football club a lot more. It feels like he's having a free run. I don't doubt he wants to win a league title and all of this jazz, but he's going about it the wrong way. As we've been suggesting, he's going through the same problems, and there's no one to check him. And then you look at the owners, they're not winners. Obviously we're not Real Madrid, but it's not a Real Madrid thing. In other realities, you know, best case scenario beyond winning a league or the champs, let's just assume he won one of the or both the domestic cups. Other clubs might say, you know what, one love for that Arteta, you've done the rebuild thing, it's time to cut. We're not going to do that. He's got a 3-year job. As long as we're in the top 4, arguably 3rd, they're cooling, they're calm, like they're calm. You've got the PR coming out, you got them positive, toxic fans that will make out everything's amazing. It's a mess, man. It's a mess, and it's self-inflicted. The only thing I'll say is I don't want anyone at this club to just think everything's done. I don't think we're winning the league, but bro, there's 11 games. We've played 11 games. I don't want no one feeling sorry for themselves. You've all shared a part in this blame, bro. Pick yourselves up and try salvage something. And then uncomfortable conversations in May, man. It's jarring.
I hear it, because like I don't know much about how the clubs run from a hierarchy point of view, but it seems like Arteta, it's kind of like they kind of put all their back into Arteta, and it almost looks like Arteta's got too much say in what goes on, bro.
Spoiled child.
And for someone that doesn't have the experience, bro, like to give him the backing that they gave him was crazy. Like when I look at Man United, for instance,
and you've got no one to check Donny as well.
The Ten Hag thing, yeah, I got pissed off at how much influence Ten Hag had, but the difference between Ten Hag and Arteta is Ten Hag had experience, blood, at a club. Like this is his first job, and they've given my man
quite the gig, innit?
Yeah, bro. They've given man the keys to the Ferrari, bro. Like, and as the first whip, they've given man the full comp Ferrari,
and then you've
for the
crashed
first
it, and
half.
they've got you a Lambo. Then you crashed that, and you got a Bentley.
Brother, this man's learning how to drive in a Ferrari. Like, it's not making no sense.
I
And
got time for Arteta, but he's moving mad.
Like, bro,
and I don't love you more than the club.
And bro, I would argue he's not learning. You know, when man is saying he's learning on the job, I don't think he is learning.
I do think you're learning, but you're not learning to be a winner, bro. And you was at City, like, fair enough, you weren't the head honcho, but you've seen what's required, bro. This is why I think there's natural complacency. I do think he puts pressure on him, but you don't, if you was about to lose your YouTube channel tomorrow, there will be a different way you would act and how you would make out videos. Like, a better example be when people need to pay bills, they see a different side of them. Arteta isn't under any external pressures beyond the obvious.
Not moving like a man.
The club showed you. He didn't get sacked when we finished 8th, which worked out because we're better now, but we're not at that point. Like, if you can go through that, if you can employ Arteta
the timing of when they announced his
beginning of the season, bro. Like, so that tells me regardless, if you get top 3, they're calling you get top 3. You don't get embarrassed in the league, in the cups, the domestic, in the international ones. There, somehow, some way, there will be some metric that shows an improvement of Arsenal, whether I believe it or not. You're calm. They will sit there and say, "Oh well, it's unpredictable." You go again. It would take a lot for Arteta, in my opinion, to get sacked. Like, you're talking falling out of the top 4 and completely whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that they announced his new contract off the back of him not winning anything, not a trophy. And they announced the thing, like, bro, he's not under pressure, like, literally, and he's finished 8th. He's finished 8th.
There's no external pressure, as in
he's finished 8th before and not got sacked. So
and then what have we said here?
Proper to get sacked,
And then what have we said here, Rants? Like, I'm sure when you've had other Arsenal fans and whatnot, naturally the league looks like it's gone. Champions League would love to win it, but obviously that's a different ball game. So that leads the League Cup at where we're in the quarterfinals in the FA Cup. If we're talking about just give me top 4 and a League Cup or FA Cup or whatever, ain't this what Wenger got killed for? Ain't this what Wenger got killed for? I'm not even saying it's right or wrong, but ain't this what Wenger got killed for? So
this is what
we're doing that.
Saying, and this is when you lot wanted Wenger out. I was saying, be careful what you wish for, blood, because it's one of them ones where, bro, the man them was saying top 4 and a trophy weren't enough with Wenger, but Wenger was doing it with Senderos and Shamak and them, man.
But he had them man playing out of their skin. I've seen Wenger, forget the Invincibles and them, man. I've seen Wenger play ball with some shit players. So I know it's a coaching thing.
Man had the Hoyts and them, man.
This is what I'm saying, bro. Man are doing overlapping passes and flicks and all these things. As an Arsenal fan, it's a humbling experience, Cool, if you're older than me, 29, and you saw George Graham, you're used to all of that long ball crap. This is an issue. And for me, bro, you have to get over the line. It is uncomfortable conversation. You have to get over the line. If you're going to play stinky football, you need to win something. So at least we can say, all right, win trophies. If you're playing stinky football, not getting results, and you're not like whatever people have to say about Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, Trossard, Jesus, and the rest of them, cool, you might not think they're good enough, all that kind of jazz, right? Are they really this bad from what we see? Are we really that? Are they really not good enough to string some passes together and some shots and all of these things? Because the Chelsea game, fair enough, we scored before this, but if you deep it, when Mikel Moreno came on, we looked more potent because we're crossing the ball, and the crossing thing didn't even happen. So Arteta needs to go back to the drawing board. And boy, fam,
this is what I mean. It's like, bro, I don't know. As an Arsenal fan, how did you go from 2 seasons ago, 2022, being one of the most free-flowing, dangerous attacking teams, to being what you are today, blood? Because, bruv, I've tried to work out how it happened, because even player-wise, it's the same players.
It's Arteta. It's genuinely Arteta.
What happened, bro? Because like
the team's a reflection of the gaffer, bro.
Jesus is still there, Saka's still there, Martinelli's still there, Erdegaard's still there, Partey's still, bro. All the players are there.
Ball, bro. From what we're seeing here, it's clearly all week. You're working on defending outnumbered, 2 banks of 4, all of that kind of crap. The only time I think we look half competent trying to string some passes together is when David Raya's got the ball. Once it goes into midfield, you're in issues, because obviously it's one thing doing that in training. Obviously on the match day, as you know, midfielders are going to get pressed. So it's a reflection of Mikel Arteta, good or bad. it's a reflection of the manager, because we're only seeing on the weekend what you've been doing all week, you know, like that's it. Yeah, you could on a random occasion, yeah, you can say this player weren't there, that player weren't there. You can switch up the style of things, but when you've seen it on a prolonged basis, where we haven't played amazing since the start of the season. If I'm honest, the only time I really, even though we drew with City, fair enough, second half I'll say you done a thing. PSG, I allow you for that. We haven't played good all season. Like, we've got away with things. Spurs, fair enough, professional job. As I said, isolated, yeah, can get away with that. Villa, we ran away with it in the second half. Liverpool was better than what I thought we'd do, but we shot ourselves in the foot. Arteta even said we was lacking courage. And then one time we tried to gamble, we conceded. Chelsea, a dumb goal to concede, take nothing away from Neto, but you look at our defending. So if you're not at the high standards defensively for the whole team, if you're not got the answers you need in midfield, if you're not, you know, attacking to the best, again, Rants, I ask, like I said, how do you expect to win football games, bro? It's crazy.
Yeah,
you're not even using Sterling. I'm not even advocating for Sterling, but
no, but
you
why
brought him in.
You're not going to use him.
Again, Inter Milan was the first time I thought, yo, bring him on. Like, just a bit of pace. Bring him on. Fair enough, he can't play against Chelsea, but what's going on?
Pace, experience, a bit of know-how, bro. Like, man are screaming to play Ethan, but not Raheem Sterling, bro. Like, it's Raheem Sterling. This person said, you ain't seen you're going to see the best of me and that. Boom, boom, but bruv, he's played no minutes.
And do you know what annoys me, Rants, with that?
Like Raheem and not use him.
Do you know what annoys me with that, Rants? Yeah, obviously he's a yard man. I'll push the propaganda and all of that. But what did the Arsenal fans say? Oh, he's worked with him at City. He can. Arsenal fans have this weird thing, yeah, because big up Havertz, he's doing his thing. But this weird thing that any player that's down on their luck, Arteta can wave a magic wand. All of these things were said, as you said yourself. Yeah, bro. As you said yourself, when man's coming out and saying I got a point to prove, but you're not using Donny. Trossard's been shit. Fair enough, he's been playing in the 10. Trossard's been shit. You really can't tweak things. This tells me who you do and don't trust. At the end of the day, you just need to look at the minutes.
He trusts Trossard defensively more than other players. That's why he plays him. It's a defensive thing. Because I notice in certain games, you'll play Trossard instead of Martinelli because he tracks back more, blood. It's like this manager plays to not lose games, bro. Like, even the way he set you up against Chelsea, he set you up to stop Chelsea from playing. He didn't set you up to play your game, bro. Like,
and this why needs a fucking balance.
He's playing underdog football, bro. Like at Arsenal, and I'm sure.
Do you remember last year when I said this is like Mighty Ducks? We all know how Mighty Ducks and Coach Carter ended. We like, hey, just watch the movie if you ain't watched it. I've said this here before, bro. Like,
yeah, like I don't know, bro, how it's gone so sour. And it's like, it's funny because people were using Arteta as
the beacon of hope.
Yeah,
the champion of a rebuild. And they still can. They still can. It's just about winning.
United, they were saying, Arsenal gave Arteta time and look how...
Yeah, no, it got us to rebuild. It got us to rebuild. But this is the rebuild. This is where we want to go. He can't get us over there right now. This is it. It's just about getting over the line. In the same way how at a point he used the Pepe, he used the Bamian, he used the fucking, who else did he use? Tierney to a point, Ramsdale to a point, and etc. And they got us to a point and he binned them. Arteta is looking like Moses in the Bible. You need to walk through the desert for 40 years, get to the promised land, you bust out, you get a new guy. Look at Barcelona. Like, I hope that it works, Arteta, but I love my club more than you. And I'm not quite marked Mikel Arteta out yet, and pitchforks and that, but boy, uncomfortable conversations in May. You got to the end of the year.
Arsenal coming in for Arteta, they went and got Hansi Flick. And now look what they're doing.
Running away with it.
Brother, it's mad. When you look at Arteta, it's like, if he leaves Arsenal tomorrow, you can't look and think that elite clubs are going to take him on. He hasn't won nothing. So,
and that's what annoys me, because I think he'll go and be a good gaffer, but I don't want Arsenal to be a learning curve and you to do the complete opposite in a title race at another club.
He just done the rebuild. Like, he's your Brendan Rodgers.
And if he is that, this is where the people above him upgrade the thing, man.
Remember, Brendan Rodgers done the Suarez Sterling Sturridge thing, and then after that, Liverpool were good. You know the ones, but he gave them a glimmer of what Liverpool could be, but he fell short, bro. And that's exactly what Arteta's done. Like, he's just done the Brendan thing, bro. Like, if you're being real, bro, that the FA Cup weren't even his team, bro. They weren't even his team. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't really count.
Big him up for the rebuild, but like, it's over the line business now. The man says it himself. Like, all I care about now is getting over the line, specifically Prem. Obviously, if you ain't bullied the Prem or won the Prem or two, you can't look at the Champions League. But that's the conversations I think any neutral, balanced Arsenal fan wants to be, and we ain't won that. if that's your job, then you can leave with your head held high. I've got nothing but praise for you for the rebuild. But as I keep saying, over the line business now, everything is irrelevant. Over the line, we all knew about fine margins. We lost out on the league by 2 points. We know every point counts. How many points have we shot ourselves in the foot? As much as I think Liverpool are great, they will drop points. City will drop points again, and so will we. But when are we going to go on a run? You've made the impossible even harder. It's the issue.
Yeah, it's looking mad. And the thing is, the way the manager market's set up, you're stuck with this gaffer for a minute because there's not really nothing out there. So it's like, I don't know what the feeling is like amongst like the majority of the Arsenal fans, because it seems like a lot of the Arsenal fans I've seen, yeah, it's like their man are just happy to be involved, like happy to be involved in a title race or whatever.
A lot of young youths, man, on top reds, as you said, like a lot of
man,
man
like just happy to be involved and that, and do the GA thing and the banter and the Starboy Saka thing. But really,
yeah, man, ain't seen, bro. You've probably got United fans now that ain't seen you look when you were serious. A lot of our fans ain't seen us when they're serious, bro. So when they're seeing an improved top 6 record and still unbeaten against the top 6, and they're hearing Arteta speak, I'm not saying these are bad things, but you're overdoing it. Like, I think internally in the Arsenal fan base, bro, there's a lack of just being honest, like for the positives and the negatives, man. Like, I'm not on this being involved and happy to be here. Of course, I'm happy to be where we are now, excluding, back-to-back 8s. But again, it's over the line business. This is what we're being told. This is what the man said. I'm not even trying to catch out Arteta. You come out and said, we're not happy. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. The club said that. So
the actions have not they haven't shown
right. So I can't be called a hater if you're coming out and saying things. Like, it doesn't make sense. If I try and take a girl out and I say I line up a date and I don't take her out, she's gonna be vexing it. So you can, if you don't say anything, I can't have anything to talk about. But this is the issue. I don't really care about wage bill and positive net spend and all that. I'm well aware that you need to do that, but wait, let's not act like we're not spending peas, bro. Like, we might not be doing a mad thing, but we're not working with pennies. It's not a Wenger thing.
Nah, you're spending bread, bro. Like, you could argue, that Arteta's the most backed manager in the history of Arsenal football.
There's no arguing. It is. There's no arguing. 100% he is. Wenger, we all know, paying off the stadium. Emre joined us at a delicate time. He wanted Pepe. He wanted Zaha. He got Pepe. He wanted Partey. He got Torreira. Arteta is getting everything he wants and having the luxury to not sign people. You are the most backed manager. You actually I'm happy you said manager. You're actually the manager. You're not the head coach. You went from being head coach to manager. That tells me they're buying into whatever you're telling them.
Facts. And that's what I mean about his influence and his power, bro, because he's the manager. We got a head coach now. I'm so glad we don't have a manager anymore, because it means that we've got proper football structure. And the fact that you're being linked to bringing in fucking Rosicky or Mertesacker to replace Edu. Man,
it's not a big dog. Allow me. Don't piss me off, man.
Man ain't even going
when some Arsenal fans be happy with that,
I heard that the geezer at is it Sociedad? The geezer at Sociedad's just left or something like that.
Bring him over Rosicky and Mertesacker and all them. I heard of Arsenal fans say Thierry Henry on my live stream, like, come on, bro. Come on, man. This is a football manager thing. Bring someone experienced and let them have a eat.
Brother, Sociedad is hot property at the moment, apparently. Do you know what I'm saying? Apparently Real Madrid were looking at this brother. All these other guys, you man are looking at Mertesacker.
Anyhow, Arsenal, I dare you to make Mertesacker, Rosicky, and any of them foolish man that.
If you got
Mertesacker for the youth, that's it.
Rosicky or Mertesacker, your club is in the bin, blood. Like,
bro, what's Rosicky? Like, I didn't even know Rosicky's been a sporting director. I can't lie.
I don't know if he is, bro.
If you're not a sporting director, bro, dead. See, and he's not even doing good in the. I ain't got nothing more to say on that. I ain't got nothing more to say on that. Like, come on, Arsenal. Like, come on, man.
Bro, you might have morphed into us here overnight. And we're morphing into like the stage where Liverpool was, where Liverpool got the news.
Hey, we're keeping receipts,
bro. I'll be real, keep them. You know what I mean?
I like Amarin. I think it's lit. I think he'll be more Jose than AVB. But
Liverpool got the new setup upstairs, and then got the new coach, and that's what we've done. We got the new setup and the new coach. But the difference between us and Liverpool, we got money. You know what I mean? Liverpool was on the universal credit thing, blood. You know what I'm saying? We got bread. First window, 5 man signed. You know, like that. Like, we got money as well, fam. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? We're getting a new stadium, but we don't have to scrimp like Arsenal, blood. You man, a new stadium, you spend no money. Brother, not only are we gonna build a new stadium, but them man said that They said they're building a new stadium and they're keeping Old Trafford, bro, and they're just gonna reduce the capacity for the women's team and the youth team to play it. You get me? So man, are gonna have
my childhood, man. I don't want United to
come back, man. 2 stadiums and that. You know,
but that's what annoys me about Arsenal, because like if Liverpool go win this league, yeah, I don't know what the future says for Liverpool, but fundamentally is there was an opportunity and they took it. Yeah, obviously. I do think naturally we have an ambition to improve. United will end up being back. Obviously, you can't look at what Chelsea's not doing. City are City. Everyone but Spurs is somewhat serious to some degree, right? This is my issue, because we've had, give or take, you could include this year, but the last 2 years, a kind of golden opportunity to bag something, and then whatever the future has, it has in it. It's jarring. It's jarring, man. I'm actually happy. I can't be. Normally, I don't want the international break to come. I've never been so happy to be part of an international break. And boy, Forest is a man.
I'm enjoying the international break because my new manager's got an interview coming out 7 p.m. You know, man, I'm gonna watch that.
Carla, he looks serious, man. The way he talks, man, I hope he's
with the more clear, bruv.
I think he'll be all right.
Your manager's walking around in the H&M, bro.
My manager, man, Arteta's jiffy. Go early, man. He's got aura, man.
I'm done the GQ thing in some banduli tracksuit and that. My manager,
I'm hoping it gets worse before it gets better. My manager
cut through looking like Kane Tejada with the Moncler, bro. The thing's different. Kane Tejada. I swear down, man came through with the Monclizzy, bro. Like my manager's different, and the iced out bezel, blood. I see the way he rolled up his sleeve, you know. I see my manager.
Make Bruno the captain. Where you lot back, man.
Bro, listen. As soon as I saw the manager walking with a one sleeve up, I said, "Yeah, this guy is flossing on, man."
He is a good manager, man. He looks serious.
To let man know, man got bread, you know. Man said just a one sleeve up because man need to zoom in on the timepiece. You get me? Nah, it's different. It's different, bro. My manager's different, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them ones where the thing's different. The Bears won 6 trophies at 39 years old. Arteta got 1 trophy. Do you know what I'm saying?
See why Arteta didn't start winning?
Bro, listen, I'll be real. Man, we're using Arteta as the reason why we should have given Ten Hag more time, bro. And Ten Hag won 2 trophies. And we still wanted man out. I remember using Arteta with the 1 trophy, yeah, and nothing else. It's crazy.
The thing, Arteta's just stagnated. Like you stagnated the thing.
How was Arteta ever the benchmark? You see, that's why they say hindsight. Yeah, it's 2020.
I don't know. I don't know for that because I've never come out and said that. But boy,
bro, hindsight is 2020. Because when you look back, yeah, at what Arteta's
everyone's a genius in hindsight, as they say.
Bro, when they look at when you actually look. All sentiment taken away at what this Bear's done. All he's done is steady the ship. That's all he's done, bro.
Exactly. And big up. And again, like I said, one love for doing that, Arteta. I'm not gonna underappreciate what you did, but we can't rest on our laurels. Big you up for that. Weren't that the Wenger thing? Sell off the stadium, do all of that. You got a good bunch of players, the academy bringing through players. You can spend money. Wenger done all of that so you could even, whether it's right or wrong, be in a position to spend 65 million on Havertz or 100 million on Rice. Arteta, if you're the guy that's had to do that, and we need to get another one to go to the next level, so be it, man. Because I like what Arteta is doing, and I dislike a lot of things, but I like my club more. And if you don't salvage something, boy, there's some uncomfortable conversations. My man said Ten Hag available. Allow me, man.
Bro, listen. When I'm seeing you, man, go. Like, for instance, you went to the San Siro and it's like, man, look like they're not even trying to win the game. Like, I've never seen anything like this, bro. Do you know what I mean? When I really knew you, man, were cooked was when you, man, played against Bayern, yeah. They had no fans and you couldn't beat them. And you, man, had a little one hamstring Leroy Sané twisting man up. Man was running from the halfway line.
You got to be strong to support this club, man. I love it.
He was running from the halfway line with his one hamstring, yeah. Like, bro, I said, nah, these men are not respecting Arsenal.
But that's what gives Arsenal fans a bad rep in it. Is like when it comes to social media, it's probably Arsenal first and then Man United for the fans. When you got Arsenal fans coming out and saying and showing a lack of humility, bring on Real Madrid, we're this, we're that, we're others. You know, it's the last 2 years now. You've probably looked at the league, the bookies where we are in the league and the champs, and it is favourable odds. Just doing too much. Even that Bayern game, you know, I actually think we competed, quote unquote. But again, there's no stardust, silly mistakes, ultimately at a level that you're not. Pray for Bayern. Again, it's a shame that some of these fans like are part of this fan base. And like we're not, I therefore don't speak for them and they don't speak for me, but we're indirectly in this together. Like understand why people get out of fans. Arsenal fans say
that wanted their manager out and then backtracked and then got rid of him again, was sacking man upstairs. That was a Bayern in turmoil, you know, that beat Arsenal. And man, we're talking about pray for Bayern and that. The whole thing is crazy. And then man are getting linked with Leroy Sané, blood. If Arsenal ever are looking at Leroy Sané and them, man, he's dusted. Like, what?
Rants, you've seen it yourself, man. It's the same old theme like we have whenever we have a bit of a negative time, like you've seen, we ain't won in our last 4. There's an international break. We're hearing executives are flying to America to chat to Cronkies. Isaac is the top target. We want this guy.
Yeah, 120 million euros. Isak.
Bro, even if you go and spend that, that's dead to me because you're not doing that until next summer. What go on for the football that we have to play today? You're not doing none of that in January. I'd love to be wrong, but you're not doing that in January. You can't do that in January. And if you do that in January,
you weren't going to do it in Jan. Why don't you do it in the summer, bro?
This is what I was about to say. So it's a lack of planning. But then Arsenal fans, some Arsenal fans will sit there and move like. And again, I do think our Arsenal, we did this weird thing of just signing players for the sake of it. I do like not signing players if you don't believe in them. But they always, Arsenal fans, some move like it's this mythical kind of player that we're the only that we can't really find a player that can improve us. It has to be a specific type, which again, me as a fan, I can't list
but
a million
can't say
players
that and then go sign Moreno, bruv.
This is what I'm saying. You can't list a million. It don't
like,
make sense, fam.
Mendy, like, you know them ones. It's not like
we're not Real Madrid or City where there's not players that can't improve us. There's people that are paid to scout. Half of these players that your fans, my fans, football fans waffle about, we got to sign them. Where did they start? They had to start somewhere. Gyökeres obviously doing his thing at Sporting and he's on brand now. But was he not at Brighton? Was he not on loan at Swansea or something? Man,
Gyökeres at the time would have cost you less than what you spent.
That Duran brother, MLS, they've got to come from somewhere before everybody starts gassing it. So either pay the spend the piece correctly or find the emerging talents that tie into the club. Dead.
No facts, bro.
Blood,
when you look at all these players, and the thing is, yeah, it's like you man were linked with Mudryk, what, 2 seasons ago, yeah. Who was your left wing replacement? You didn't buy one. Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling. Because Trossard ain't really a winger like that. Trossard's kind of like, I don't know what.
Bit of a hybrid, a 10-ish winger-ish inside forward.
Even him, he's not a pace man. When you look at the profile of a Mudryk's profile is closer to a Martinelli. Pace, direct. Do you know what I'm saying? Trossard ain't that. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's where we got linked with Harry Kane and got Højlund. It's like profile-wise, them man are not similar. Like
that's even going back to Gabriel Jesus. You went from Vlahovic to Gabriel Jesus, which I'm not necessarily knocking it, but it's like the profiles, like you're saying, they're not really matching up.
Bro, them kind of signings there are proof that man don't know what they're doing, because it's like you don't go from one profile of player to the next profile of player. Like at least with United, we signed Xerxes, yeah, but we were also linked with Ivan Toney and Cunha. All 3 of them are like false 9 kind of playing like in the hole. So I knew what kind of player we was after. That made sense. You don't go from a Kane who drops deep, spraying balls, goal scorer, to spend 72 million on a youth that's never scored double figures, yeah, and don't start, blood, and ain't scoring goals for his country, bro. Like the one to the other thing was crazy. Like, and this is what Arsenal be doing. You get linked with certain man, and it's like it's not really
even the link thing pisses me off, bro. Like
it's not making sense, bro. It's not making sense with the players you get linked with because they're not even fitting they're not fitting a profile, bro. They're not fitting a profile at all. The Marino thing, look how long it took you to sign him, yeah. Like you would think that the Brer was bare sought after. No one else wanted that motherfucker.
And again, he's a squad player that we're trying to put at a level that he's not. We're not learning from the Zinchenko and Jesus, which did help us at the time. But to be devil's advocate, if you're gonna sign a man and he was a squad player over them sides, just make the man a squad player. Don't we do this thing of squad players become rotationary options, rotation players become guys that are probably going to play 30 to 35 to 38 games of the season, and they might do shit, they might do good, but ultimately they don't get over the line. That's what I mean with Kai. Like Kai has I think we've drawn enough blood from Kai as much as we can, like for the good, the bad.
Yeah, you're not going to get more than what you got out of him.
And then when you sign a striker, what's going to happen, Rants? You're going to have to play him in midfield. He's on 200 grand a week.
Premier League season, yeah, 14 Premier League goal season, yeah, from Kai Havertz, yeah, bro. You maxed him out, bro. Like that, like, bro, you maxed out this brother. One, he's not a striker, and 2, the fact that he scored goals for you you've got the most you could have got out of him because you
That's
brought him
why
as a left.
I'm not vexed at
You
Kai.
brought him
We've
as a
got past the
left-sided
point.
K to actually replace Xhaka, who went on to go invincible and win the league.
Big up
Do you know what
Granite,
I'm
man.
saying? Like,
People,
bro, you brought
I
him to
tell people
replace
don't let him
Xhaka.
go.
Xhaka was never the problem. Xhaka at least could get you a few goals, had the tenacity, all the stuff that Kai Havertz never had. So even bringing in Havertz to replace Xhaka tells me that the manager's
Because Arteta got
profiling of
excited
players.
off the ball movement. Let's be honest. That's unless you're talking about things that not even dissing Kai, that every footballer can, dropping deep and just mucking in and being a bit of a shithouser. Kai Havertz is better off the ball. Kai Havertz is actually better like running off the ball and being a decoy or the final action. So it doesn't make sense, as you said, how you're gonna find that and go with Granit. If you was trying to do a thing where Odegaard drops deep and Havertz runs in behind and you've got whoever on the left hand side, fair enough. But that's not sustainable over a 38 game period. You can have that in your pocket and do that, but it's not making sense, which again, on brand with what we've been talking about for an hour, self-inflicted issues.
That's it. And how many times are you going to let a man like shoot himself in the foot? How many times? And
Until
just
the
let
foot
man,
busted because he's not getting sacked.
that's what, but this is the maddest thing. This is why I can't see when people are preaching certain things. The one thing you can't preach with Arteta is patience, because a man's been given longer than any manager in their history. I've never seen a manager backed through 8th place finishes.
It's not a patience thing, and I'm speaking purely for the balanced Arsenal fans that can see the good, the bad, recognize we're not Real Madrid. It's not a patience thing no more. You had the patience, you've got us here. We've got in the line of the rave. Are you gonna get us in now? There's no patience. There's none of that. Like, you need to get over the line, bro.
No, 100%, bro. He's been given money. He's been given patience. He's been given the benefit of the doubt. And even before all of that, he was given an opportunity that he probably didn't deserve on paper based on his CV. Do you know what I'm saying?
And it was great from the club. And in terms of the rebuild, it worked out. But again, it's looking like Mighty Ducks and Coach Carter. Watch the movies if you ain't seen that, people. I'm not here for this, of course, I enjoy the banter with fans. We want to win. We hate losing. But ultimately, what does it mean? Like, what does it mean? Like, what does it mean going through a 38-game season, nothing to show for it? I'm not one of them Arsenal fans that's going to say 10, 20 years from now, oh my God, 2022, 23, 04, 03, what's it? 2023, 24. We'd had such a great run. What is there to show for it? You want to get DVDs like Spurs, or you want to win shit?
Real talk, bro. But like this is the comment though. Of all the managers to give time, they chose him. And that's why, as much as I get angry with the Ten Hag thing, he still had a body of work. So as much as it frustrated me, because it was painfully obvious to me from the first season, that he couldn't replicate what he did at Ajax in the Premier League, at least he had a body of work. Arteta didn't have a body of work.
The last 2 years, Arteta has been like, they've created a monster. Like the last 2 years where it's become abundantly clear, just getting over the line. Issues, man. Issues.
And that comes down to his own choices even, bro, because the Aston Villa lost, blood, playing Havertz in midfield, lost you the game. You played him up front.
Didn't want to kill the game in the first half, and even the players as well. Like, and that indirectly comes from the manager. Like,
it's the
self-inflicting issues, man,
and the personalities that he chooses to sign. Like, the thing is, you sign Jesus and Zinchenko. At the time, Arsenal fans were saying, like we nicked these players off Man City.
Can't nick. Don't sell players for no reason.
Them are not winners, bro. They didn't come and bring a winning mentality to Arsenal. They were two side men at Man City, You saw the way Man City man were bullying Zinchenko when they came back. They never rated him. He was a side man.
He needs to cut. He's not serious.
He was getting bullied. When they came back and they saw Zinchenko, man are taking his hat and them thing there. You know that he's an idiot. Like, he was never taken seriously. You went and got the outcast from Man City with no winning mentality. You didn't go and get no mentality monsters from Man City. You got castaways, bro. They didn't improve Man's team. They didn't bring the steel. The same way when Chelsea signed Raheem Sterling, he was meant to bring a bit of experience.
They improved up to a point, but it's like you put them on big contracts.
All they did was raise your floor, though.
Yeah, exactly. And then you've got them on big contracts, and we're doing this thing of just persisting. We're ruthless in the wrong ways.
But this is the point. Them man are on big money. I saw Jesus is on like 280 or something. When I saw that, I nearly fell off my chair, bro.
Like Zinchenko, you need to go in the summer. Jesus, uncomfortable conversation, bro.
You've got Havertz on 300 bags, plus and Jesus on 280. That's a madness. Like, that will never make sense.
Edu, you
Like,
got out at the wrong time, boy.
Like, brother, I don't know what he could have been at Man City, but Man City don't have many players on 280, bro. So he must have been on like a 1/5 at Man City, if that. A man bust man nearly double the wages.
All we can do is pray for better days, Rants, man. Like, I just accept football at face value. I can't change anything. Yeah, but
Brother, it's a crazy amount of money that Jesus is on, bro. And even now, if everyone's fit, he's not even starting for you. So you got a man on the bench on all that money. Like, nah, it's crazy. Like, bro, what you man have done above like pitch level with, I don't know if it's Edu's fault. I don't know who gives out the contracts. I don't know who decides who comes in. I don't know none of that. All I know is it's a shambles, bro.
And that's why I'm not, like, I always give the example when we talk about Edu and Arteta and the Cronkies. Of course, you can attribute certain blames, but anyone that's from our kind of life, when you're a kid and you go grandma's house and you've got all heap of cousins there, you're ramping, you're running up and down in the room, you're enjoying, you're play fighting, someone breaks something. When your grandma or granddad comes in the room, they are not asking who did whatever. Everyone in the room's getting beats. That's where I'm at. Everyone holds licks.
Everyone has to hold it, bro. That 100%, bro. Because at the end of the day, it's not about who did it or who didn't do it.
You tell us it's collaborative, bro. Yeah. So you're all in it on a High School Musical thing, like starring.
And that's what it is. Like, I think a lot of men don't realize, your problems there, are deeper than or the surface level. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, even if Arteta leaves, the problem's not gone.
And this is it. And some people, and what I don't like is you can not like Arteta, you can like Arteta, let it be from a footballing point of view. Let's be brutally honest. There are some people that like Mikel Arteta just because they quote unquote think he looks attractive and all of these things. This is what jars me about these new age fans. It's jarring. And you can't big up it feels like when things go right at this football club, it's always Arteta. When things go left, we talk about the players, you get the Cronkies, you talk about
owners and that. Yeah, Man United
you do everything but say, yo, Arteta.
Yeah, it's the owners.
Oh, but he never had a good summer. You can't sit there, read The Athletic, which, let's be honest, it's a mouthpiece of Arsenal. They filter little things. And then they say, oh, Arteta was so brave to push for this guy and that guy when he didn't want him. So when things go left, what's going on?
Yeah, facts.
It's jarring, but it takes common sense to look at these things, bro.
The way Arteta came close to winning the league, would you not blame the owners for not bringing in a striker in Jan when Arsenal were leading?
I mean, you would like to see your owners go and do that, but rightly or wrongly, we know the Arsenal owners are not on the Madrid thing spending peas, and also it's not a cop-out. And if you're going to do the scouting thing and find the Gyökeres before he's at Sporting or find the John Duran before he's at Villa, that's fair enough. But as we all know, it's difficult to, in theory, difficult to do business in January. It's a reactive market. And as Rant said at the start, bro, should have been doing that in the summer. Of course, we did sign Aubameyang in January, but he had a little bust up with Dortmund. That's kind of what led to us signing him. What players are you going to see with that? And everybody knows you need a striker. There's a month to go. Whatever striker you're looking to buy, their current employers need them.
And since Aubameyang under Arteta, you haven't had a striker. You haven't had an out-and-out striker, have you? Because Jesus ain't really an out-and-out striker. He played on the wing at City. Havertz ain't a striker.
Havertz, Eddie, but Eddie was shit. Like,
so he didn't had one. So he didn't want one. That's the truth.
If being clinical was what Arteta wanted from a striker, these men wouldn't be up there. Now, I think we all know in the modern day, you have to drop deep and do all of that kind of stuff. So I'm not just sign someone that just stands there, but you need a forward. Look at Pep. Pep won how much leagues and stuff without a striker, but he recognized, I need a Haaland. I need to kind of change how I'm going about things. And that's Pep Guardiola, the man that's turned this into a farmers league. Mikel Arteta's been coaching for 2 minutes. What gives you the right to do this? I got pelters for saying I like Jesus and all of these things, but it's going to be a Lacazette thing where he might score some good goals. He'll work hard, but you're not going to get to where you need to get to. There was too much romance, and I was happy, and I still am with it to have signed Jesus at the time. But it was Disneyland stuff. Yeah, give him a platform to play up front. I hear that if it works, it's great. But in terms of being winners, let's look at what the Winners City did. He weren't the guy like that. He was a rotationary, versatile player, and he did well at that. So why do we take a rotation option once again and try and make him the main done, and then act surprised when we don't do what we need to do? These are questions that me as an armchair expert, I can't answer. But as a fan, boy, I don't know what's going on.
But this is the thing, man say armchair expert, but the thing is, this is why it's weird being in this space, because it's like certain things look obvious, yeah. They look real obvious, bro, from the outside, but then Arteta's meant to be the expert. Yeah, but exactly. But Arteta's meant to be the expert, yeah. But what he's doing, yeah, it just shows that, brother, he's got all these fucking badges and that, but bro, he's learning on the job just like everyone else.
And and again, you were right about that. But again, if you ain't got managerial experience, what you do have is you was around Pep Guardiola. Forget seeing Pep when he won stuff and that. You've seen how Pep reacts to setbacks. Is there not any personal experiences you can draw on? And if you're not doing that, where does that come from? Is it because you know that as long as, like, if Arsenal are, I don't look at the league table, but if Arsenal finish where they are at this moment in time, is that cool? You're keeping your job? And it's and I always give that example, man.
I don't look at the league table because my team finished 8th last year. But saying you don't look at the league table and you finished I don't. Second twice in a row, you're lying.
That's news to me.
Listen,
I never knew that.
I haven't looked at the league table for like 3 years.
Swear down, Arsenal was second twice. This is news.
Trying to hear none of that.
I ain't seen that, Rants. I don't know, man. I just game to game, work hard. Happy to be here on the channel.
The man's doing this politics. We're not doing politics.
No, I don't look at the league table because I like what? Why? Like, there's many different league tables to look at. I don't know which one we're talking about. I don't know anything.
Crazy. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, innit? Yeah.
I ain't got nothing else, man. I knew what I was stepping into today.
Listen, bro. Listen, all I know is, bruv, you know what I mean? You might need a striker. We took one from your academy. It is what it is. Man like Chido, blood. I can't wait for him to make his Man United debut, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Just like,
Arsenal fans will cry over that. But if you look at my receipts, I didn't say nothing.
I can't wait for him because again, he knows that there's no route into the first team because your manager don't like strikers, or else he would have stayed. I'm sure he would have stayed. You know, like that. So it's just one of them things. When he makes his debut, I can't wait, bro. Man, gonna celebrate that like I celebrated Alexis and Van Persie, blood. You know what I'm saying? Because every time you take an Arsenal chain, blood, it's a good week. You know what I mean? So
Sky, man.
Yeah, I mean the game is the game, bruv. Man, them. Make sure you subscribe to the Ludage channel in the title, people. You already know if you haven't already. Do you know what I'm saying? Let them know what you got coming up as well, brother.
I think at 7 p.m. I did a video with Matisse, so that should be coming out. I got a video coming out with Cecil, so yeah, hit the sub button. At the moment, I'm going over to Saeed's channel like straight after this, so yeah, I don't know what to expect there, but we'll go over there.
That's what I'm saying. So yo, 600 likes, bruv. You look, make sure we hit that target, man. Do you know what I mean? Man are bringing you back-to-back shows. You know what I mean? Man are making sure the streets stay fed. You get me? And then
amen.
We got some gunner at 5 o'clock, bruv. So do you know what I mean? It's yeah, bro. You know what I mean? You got 3 bangers of shows on a Friday, fam, during this dead international break. Man's keeping you
look at the work rate.
You know what I mean? So make sure that you lot hit the like buttons. Make sure you subscribe to Deluded Gooner if you haven't already, people. And yeah, man, I'm gonna see you guys back here